What do we think is going on with Burnley and Vincent Kompany? Is it a steadying the ship? Is it a patience thing? Or is it time for the sack? I'm not calling for the sack. 3 questions.
Can I just answer that real quick?
Real quick.
I feel like, you know, like when you run your bath and you got to test the water before you jump in. I feel like they just jumped right in.
It sounds mad, but I get what you're saying.
Yes, my people, welcome back to the Onside Offside podcast. This is episode 8. You get what I'm saying? This show we've got some very big things to highlight, some interesting scores and results from the weekend. So we're gonna highlight that. We're also gonna be talking about VAR and loads of other interesting things. I'm not gonna give it away. They've got to watch the show to find out what we're speaking about in episode 8. Also, people, we have a very special guest today. So we're about to reveal that special guest. Make sure you stay tuned and look into the show. I'd like to introduce Maestro Mal.
Evening.
Mark Swart. Myself, Elite UK Talent. As I explained earlier, we have a special guest. He goes by the name of Slammer. Big up Slammer. Yes, Slammer. How you doing, bro?
Yes, boys.
Thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, Slammer, welcome to the Onside Offside podcast. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us a bit about yourself, like what you grew up, what kind of things you was into, and how you got into football? Because I know you're a very big football fan.
Of course.
And just let us know a bit about yourself.
Well, how long have we got?
Roll up, well.
Yeah, to be honest with you, my two interests, football and music. You know, kind of go hand in hand. I grew up East London boy.
Cool.
Hackney to be precise, so not too far from Highbury, hence why,
Arsenal fan, yeah. These don't be happy about that.
Of course. So the football side of things, always been a big football fan. Never changed my team in the playground.
So you've always been Arsenal,
Always been an Arsenal fan, Massive Ian Wright fan.
Oh, I was just about to say as well. You hit the nail on the head. I was about to say, who was your favourite Arsenal player growing up?
Ian Wright. All time.
Big up Ian Wright.
First hero. Try to emulate him on pitch.
How close did you get?
We can add some images and
No, but I've known you for a little while, Slammer, and I know that you play striker.
Of course.
When we was in our younger days, and you did score a lot of goals. So I give that to you, bro.
Yeah, man, respect, man. Of course, even still playing now.
Okay.
In my old age,
you scoring still?
I'm still scoring and when
Come on, bro. Come on.
Vets and step 7. So I'm
step 7.
Quickly though, I know we're on the topic of football and we're going to stay on the topic of football, but we just want to go back to you highlighted music. Tell us a bit about your musical journey, because I know that you've been involved with the Heartless Crew collective.
Yeah, Heartless Crew. That's family, man. So big up Bushkin, Body and Mighty Mo.
Shout out the Heartless Crew.
It's the music thing it's a big part of our life and our culture. So growing up, in a Jamaican household, every Sunday, rare grooves, reggae's playing. Which is crazy because when my mum used to play it and. As a kid, I used to be like, what's this kind of music? But now as a grown man and an adult, I listen to those kind of tunes.
Could I ask, so how did the Heartless Crew situation come about? Like, how did you meet them guys? How did it start?
Like, me and Bushkin, really, really close. So that's basically family.
Okay.
And it just, because we was in the same arena, so, growing up in East London, when I moved from Hackney to Leighton, I was fortunate enough to kind of be friends with, Morphi Group, so Lethal.
Shout out Morphi Group.
Ozzy, known him, very long time. And, I was a very competitive DJ, so whatever, when I'm playing football or if it's music, so when I'm practicing after school DJing on my decks, I want to be the best. If you kind of, you know from back in the day, if you knew someone who was a good DJ, I'd be like, yeah, bring him to my house so I can, you know, go back to back with him and see, you know, test his skills, clash.
100%.
Yeah, you know, because I'm very competitive, so you know, I put in the hours, and then you know, Heartless kind of just took me under their wing.
And big up Heartless crew, because I think it's like they were so big within their lane of garage, whatever, music in general. But I think, and they were what I liked about Heartless crew personally is that when I went to clubs and stuff and they performed, they brought different types of music. It wasn't just garage. They'll switch it. They'll play slow jams for the girls and stuff. So that was kind of cool and unique at that era. In that era, sorry, should I say? Do you know what I mean? So big up the whole Heartless crew. Big up Fonny, Bushkin, Mighty Mo, and big up Slammer. Thank you for coming on.
Respect, man. Thank you, guys.
So as per usual, this segment of the show, we review the results from this weekend, and there's plenty to talk about, from goals to VAR decisions to red cards, and also, what else is there to talk about?
VAR. Let's go into it, man. Like honestly, like they become the talking point every week.
Every week.
And do you think? I'm just gonna throw a question out there. Do you think we're better with VAR or better without VAR?
I'd say without.
Without.
Yeah. Was it onside? Was it offside? You know, let the ref kind of or the line make that decision.
Onside Offside podcast.
Yeah, the Onside Offside podcast. Yeah, because it's not enhanced the game in a good way, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
It's mad because we had linos before that was doing it independently. Now we've got linos and VAR.
And they're still getting it wrong.
And they're still getting it wrong. So imagine the mistakes that was made before VAR with just the linos.
Well, that's the argument for having VAR. I guess ultimately, usually you'd say 9 times out of 10, but it seems like 6 or 7 times out of 10, VAR's getting it right. This weekend they've said significant human error, which is just a bit of a wind-up. I'm sure well, let's talk about the game. So the game we're referring to right now with the human error is Liverpool-Tottenham. Scoreline there, Tottenham won 2-1. Now, this incident happened when Liverpool were down to 10 men and could have gone a goal up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the linesmen and the officials have said no goal. It's gone upstairs to VAR, who have somehow, it's come out later that somehow they thought that the referee's given a goal. So my question is, are they not watching the game? Like, if they thought, like, what are they doing? Do they not?
Maybe they was on lunch break.
I don't get it. Like, what could they possibly be doing?
I mean, I think it's criminal, like to let a decision like that happen.
Yeah, because they let the game continue, because they would have realised this within minutes.
Yeah.
But so they've then let a couple of minutes and 45 carry on.
Yeah. And I
That's
think
criminal.
I think what alarms me about it is how many more times have they got it wrong?
Well, you know what? I wrote it down earlier. So this year, in 2023, they've apologised 8 times.
8 times.
So that doesn't mean they've got it wrong 8 times. They've apologised 8 times in 2023. Yeah, from the Arsenal-Brentford game, well, there's one before, from the Arsenal-Brentford game to today, or yesterday. 8 times the PGMOL have apologised for mistakes.
My argument is, what are they going to do about it? I mean, it's so good and well you just apologising.
Yeah.
How can you resolve it? Are they going to, deduct a goal from Tottenham or put on that goal for Liverpool? You know, could be a conversation to be had.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's talk that they need to diversify the PGMO league, PGMOL disciplinary boards, because it's a load of former officials refs and linos. And you actually need players, people that have interacted, that played the game,
That's the problem.
that use common sense, even though common sense isn't common, but sometimes they can apply the knowledge or the experience of being in the game.
It's a techie area, because we need the referees to govern the game.
Yeah.
But I don't think we need more than the man in the middle and the 2 linesmen. I think that's enough.
Yeah.
And the
fourth official. If they make a mistake, they make a mistake. We will deal with it.
We will deal with it, but the slaughter certain referees and linos we're getting,
they got to deal with it.
No.
It's part of the job.
Yeah, but it's not fair. So
If you do something wrong in your job,
the reason why it's not fair, because I'm not exposed to millions of people that somehow jump on Twitter, jump on Facebook, jump on all this rubbish. So I'm not saying that some refs and linos don't make mistakes and shouldn't get punished, but the abuse, like it's different jobs. Like I won't
It's
get that.
different, yeah, it's
abuse if I
different
make that
jobs. But
mistake
I'm just
at work,
saying,
I'm
if
not
you're
gonna
doing
get
a
that
job
abuse.
that's high profile and you make a
Yeah.
mistake, you know what you're going into the job.
No,
and
but
what
they don't know that they don't really expect.
It comes with the job. No, it comes with the job. It's
I think
part
Well,
of
today it might come with the job, but it shouldn't come with the job. What hate like that?
Not
online.
even if they're threatening their family.
They shouldn't- it
whatever,
shouldn't
That's
happen.
not.
What they should expect it. You're saying.
I'm saying it's part of the job. If I was to sign up to be a referee now and I made a big blunder, I'm expecting to get abuse online. How I deal with that is on me, but I'm expecting.
Well, everyone deals with things differently, innit?
Maybe next week they won't make the same mistake.
No, they suspended my guys. Them guys upstairs. They got suspended for for the Brentford game.
All of them. How many of them?
Oh, there's two of them.
Two of them.
Darren England and
Yeah,
Darren
that's
something
right, yeah.
goods.
Bro, they might have took a power nap or had a blindfold on or something.
Yeah, another big result from the weekend. What result stood out for you on the weekend, Slammer?
Do you know what? I'm gonna have to go with Man City and Wolves. Yeah.
Hey.
2-1 Wolves. That
2-1
was.
Wolves, and that's only because obviously being a
Gooner.
massive Arsenal fan, no invincibles for them. So
And you know what?
Do you find as an Arsenal fan every year you're looking and thinking I can't wait for them
Of
to get their
course.
first loss,
Absolutely.
so that they can't be.
so they can't say
labelled
yeah.
as
If they
I'm
were
waiting for that. I'm
Not
always
even.
waiting for it.
Jumping back to this game, you see the number 7 for Wolves.
yeah.
Neto.
Neto.
Cold.
He's done that run, yeah, in about 3 or 4 games
Yeah.
consistently,
Problem.
and teams are gonna have to double up on him.
Yeah.
But you see the way he skipped past
He skipped,
challenges,
yeah, brother.
and then he has the awareness to fizz the ball low and hard across
Yeah.
the box.
Yeah.
Brother,
You know what I mean?
Ake would look knackered.
It was a long day for him. It was a
And
long
big up
day.
Neto, you know, because
Yeah.
he's so determined and he runs at anyone.
Yeah.
And the one that got the winner, Huang.
Fine,
Yeah, he's cold.
Huang, he scored more goals this season than he scored last season.
Yeah.
But he's, you know, that's what Wolves have been missing.
Yeah.
But Gary O'Neill, I mean, it is Gary O'Neill.
Gary
isn't it?
O'Neill, yeah.
He's making his mark on the team because he done it with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
It takes a couple of games,
To get-
you know, for him to get his team going. But once he does, he has a rigid team, and they just, you know, they know what they're doing, bro.
Big up Wolves as well, because I watched that game and I felt like after a while they found the weakness in Ake. They
Yeah.
found that he couldn't keep, and you know what? I was watching it and it was that, you know, because they was just giving the ball to Neto every time. That was their only way of breaking down City.
Yeah.
You get me? Give it to Neto. Ake can't keep up with him. Just let him fly past.
Sorry, I just want to jump in there. That was the only way, but who was missing?
Rodri.
Rodri. De Bruyne.
What's your view on Rodri Slammer?
I think clearly he's a valuable asset to, you know.
Would you call him the best CDM or best defensive midfielder in the world right now? And if not, who might be above him? There's a little debate we had a few weeks ago.
Certain man labelled me Rodri. so-
Nah, because
Yeah.
you saw how he was missed yesterday.
Yeah.
And what it is with City, their thing is like perfection, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
Rodri makes them tick.
Yeah.
And no, Calvin Phillips, you can just see the difference in Calvin Phillips, and even the Chelsea boy that played there instead of Rodri. Because
Kovacic,
Rodri has
yeah.
mastered that position and plays it so much like Pep. When someone else fills in, you just notice the
same.
difference. It's not that Kovacic is bad
Yeah.
or Calvin Phillips, but Rodri just has that position on lock.
That position, yeah,
So
yeah.
when he's not there, it's not as smooth.
But that's why we always have marks on, because even though he's like Rodri, we keep him on every episode, so no one can fix his position.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, no, he is a key player obviously, and you know, arguably he is easily top 3, you know, CDMs in the world at the moment.
Elite, which game stood out for you on the weekend?
Ooh, we've got some good ones, but I'm definitely gonna have to go with Crystal Palace, man. Shout out Crystal Palace for getting a win
Nice.
away. Let's just point out
That's
away to Man United. I know Man United haven't been in great form, but I think just
Say that again?
Man United haven't been in great form.
Oh yeah, just in case you didn't hear it.
You just wanted me to say it twice.
Yeah.
But I like what you said about Wolves winning. I think it's great when I see the underdogs always get a result against a bigger team.
Palace, you know, under Roy Hodgson, they're not underdogs at Old Trafford. Because I saw his record.
Yeah.
He ain't lost in 7. He ain't lost in 6 or 7. Like 3 draws,
Yeah.
3 wins. Maybe there was an L.
I think there was
a 1 L.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
3 draws
acceptable.
and 3 wins away.
Yeah.
That's
Because
his.
three
That's
different
his.
teams.
That's
phenomenal.
That's
That's
his
phenomenal.
ground, bro.
Trafford is not an easy place to go, to be
Okay,
honest.
so it might not just be with Palace. but a few of them would have had so man.
He's done. They might as well make a stand in his name.
Shout out Crystal Palace, man. Shout out Roy Hodgson as well.
Roy's done.
But the volley, I'm hearing that the volley may have been offside. Again, there was somebody standing in the goalkeeper's way. Now that's what the Man U fans are shouting.
Do you know what? I saw a replay of that, and I have to say, I think they got a case.
If they've got a case, they've got a case.
I think there's a case.
But see, now that's the thing now. Without VAR, we kind of bypassed it, and you'd just say the lineman missed it. Now we're going to jump and say, well, VAR again. VAR's not picking up everything. Yeah. It's missed that simple.
Do you think this is a far-fetched solution? Have a microchip in the football, which I think there already is.
I think there is,
and have like some kind of sensors on the players' fingertips and like their shoulder and or their boots, So then it rules out like, hold on, wait, no, we know he was ahead of that player.
Yeah.
You get me? Like just to rule it out. Do you think that's a far-fetched?
As you're saying, I think that is the job of VAR. For them to review and see if he was in the view of the goalkeeper. To the naked eye, that's the excitement. Like I said, the organic side of things that I like. Was he? And it's up to the ref to kind of
Control
make the final decision.
I agree.
Yeah, because in the I watch Championship football. Bro, there's no VAR.
Yeah.
When the ball hits the back of the net, if the linesman's flag's down, it's a goal.
It's a goal. That's
and the fans can cheer, the players can be jubilant and get. You score in the Premier League now. You have to double, triple take that. Hold on, where's the screen? All of them.
Looking at the line or
certain fans get to cheer twice. The fans that were upset sometimes get to cheer afterwards, like they scored.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a wind up still.
It is a bit of a wind up.
Marks, what about you? Did any interesting results catch your eye this weekend in the Premier League?
All of them. Like they were all crazy results.
It was cold, innit?
It was the best weekend of Premier League football so far. We still got a game to come tomorrow. Chelsea are playing.
And the game on Tuesday, Luton, Burnley.
Premier League game. Oh yeah, but it's not from this round of football though.
No, it's the one they missed.
Yeah,
they're game behind everyone.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But the game that stood out for me, or that kind of caught my eye, was Aston Villa winning 6-1.
Oh, wow. That was a big.
They're making a big statement still.
That's mad.
Against Brighton.
Could they be the breakthrough team this year? Because I know Brighton had a good season last season. But
we predicted them to be up there at Villa. We said Emery was going to do his thing.
Yeah. But could they make top four? Like if they consistently keep this up? I know it's still fairly early in the season.
If anyone gets caught slipping, they'll be there ready to jump in. They'll be ready to jump in.
Definitely top six.
Yeah.
I agree.
Ollie Watkins looks like he's on fire.
Yeah.
He had, up until recently, it's like he was having like a barren goal run, like where he was finding it hard to hit the net. Then all of a sudden he's just bang, got a hat trick. I think that's his second hat trick this season.
Yeah. So when was this barren goal run, G?
But alright. When I say barren goal run, like, he had quite a few chances that he was missing, and it was like he's missing a few chances, but then all of a sudden it just starts clicking, and I feel like he has to get selected for the England squad.
That's a good shout.
He's definitely on the shot. 7 goals this season, 4 assists, and his record in the Premier League speaks for itself because he came up with Brentford and purchased by Villa.
Yeah.
He's played enough 116 games and scored at least 40 goals.
He was at Brentford.
Exeter.
Was somewhat.
A lower league team, isn't it?
Lower league, yeah.
What, before he went way back? Oh, way back. I don't know where he was before.
But he's gone from strength to strength.
Yeah.
Left foot, right foot, header, and he's just not. He didn't score those goals yesterday. I'm just saying he can use those parts of the body, and then he just takes defenders on one-on-one. Yeah. And he also got 2 assists yesterday. Yeah. Well, he got 1 direct assist, and his other one was a shot that was saved by the keeper. So he's always involved, Ollie, man. And
he's got consistent play as well.
Yeah.
Players can play off of him, which is a good attribute to have.
It is,
definitely, man.
The thing that I found interesting is I kind of put Villa and Brighton in the same kind of bracket. They're very similar.
Yeah.
And I found it just interesting how Brighton just couldn't cope with a mirror version of themselves.
Well, I don't think Brighton didn't expect Villa. Did you see how high, what's his name, Douglas Luiz?
was pressing.
And the other one, how high they pressed, because Brighton like to play out to their midfielders from the keeper or to the centre backs, but Villa weren't letting them have that. So it's like, do Brighton need a plan B? You know, do they need to now find, because if other teams follow up on what Villa done, because Brighton's other loss was kind of the same high press.
They struggled.
If other teams start to follow that,
Well,
Brighton are going to need a plan B.
This is the thing. So Brighton have kind of like put themselves in the limelight as a team to beat. Like they're a good team.
Yeah.
So teams will do their homework, and you have to find the solution as to like when teams are stopping you from doing what you want to do. So sometimes it may look a bit like you're gonna step backwards to go forwards, but that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to regroup and be like, okay, look, listen, if a team comes to play us like this, we need to know how we're gonna like combat that.
And that could move us on to the next game, because I think that's what Arsenal have done this season. Because Arsenal played yesterday and won 4-0 against Bournemouth. And Arsenal last season, Arteta consistently played the same first 11 or the same 14 players.
Yeah.
And after a while, they got found out and they didn't quite have a plan B. But this season, you can see with the acquisition of players from Havertz to Timber, even though we don't see Timber, and Rice, it's now for them to be able to move about a bit more and have the other teams not really knowing what Arsenal are going to do. Because yesterday was a lovely performance from them, an all-round team performance, a nice setup for this week's Champions League game. You can talk to us about that one.
I mean, it's good to, I'm smiling. I've been smiling since. Based on the game, I will say, I have to shout out Havertz. I think it was very good of the team to allow him to take the penalty. That's a very bold move, because you're saying about to go back, but Ollie Watkins, as a striker, sometimes you have your kind of dry moments where you're not scoring, so people think that you're not playing well because you're not scoring. And that's not always the case. And
he's a midfielder as well. Even though I call him a striker as well, but he plays midfield for Arsenal as well. So how many goals do we want this midfielder to get? It's the price tag, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the price tag. I mean, him. Well, going back to Havertz, it's him finding the right position for him. Because he's not a number 9. He's not a striker. Yeah. So I feel that it's just kind of building his confidence, and I think just like Vieira, once you get your name on the score sheet and you play regular football, your confidence starts to grow, and you start to come out your shell, because Havertz at Leverkusen was deadly. And a few seasons ago at Chelsea, he was their main man, to be honest with you. So
a quick stat on that though, actually. Havertz has scored more goals than Chelsea this month.
Can you say that again? Say that again.
Chelsea haven't scored as many goals as Havertz. They haven't scored any goals this month. Wow. Their goal of the month.
We're talking about September,
September.
Okay.
And September's done today,
Yes.
It's the 31st of September today.
Isn't that 30 days September?
Is it first?
It's the first today.
That's the first.
Is it first today?
Yeah, first of October.
Right, okay. Either way, the month is done,
Yeah.
They haven't got a goal of the month contender from their first team. They have to use the youth team for their goal of the month.
You said Luton scored more goals than them.
Luton have scored more.
Shout out Luton. You know what?
Luton are right behind them. Let's go into Luton.
Yeah, we're going straight. We've got to Luton a clap. No, because every week, every other week, these men are digging Luton. Yeah.
That's a word.
Every other week.
He's ruling himself out.
No, you're part of it, bro. We're all part of it.
Well done, Luton. 1 point last week, 3 points this week. And it was against Everton at Goodison Park. Now, Everton have not scored. We're talking about teams not scoring at home. Everton have not scored at home this season until they scored yesterday. They hadn't scored at home. So if there was any game that Luton had a chance of getting a goal and a win, it was yesterday, and they done it. I like the second goal from Morris. Volley at the back stick.
Very good goal.
Well done, man.
Very good goal.
They kept going.
And it's funny because we went, as we spoke about last week, we actually went and watched Everton versus Brentford live, and we did say that Everton dominated that game. They dominated their midfield, like you said, higher press, Anana, Decore, they dominated the midfield, but So I predicted now it's going to be easy based on that game for Everton to win. But it didn't go the way I thought. And like I said, we've been giving Luton a hard time, so shout out Luton.
Because Luton even lost in midweek to Exeter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the Carabao Cup, but they said, nah, I think that obviously, well not obviously, but the Carabao Cup, I don't believe they put as much into that. Just like Palace, Palace duped Man U and saying, you know what, you can have that. You know, have that 3-0. And I feel like Luton, you know, they put their all into that game at Goodison Park, and well done to Luton, man.
It shows progression,
of course, yeah,
and an adjustment, because you know, like, it's not easy to come from the Championship, especially a team that hasn't been in the Premier League for a long time.
Ever. Yeah. This first time.
Yeah. So first time, the transition is very difficult, and they're gonna lose a couple of games.
No, I'm gonna put it out there. I don't think they're going down. You know what?
Two weeks ago.
No, because you said progression and adjusting. And you know what? I'm seeing some results in the Prem. I'm thinking, well, you know what? If they can pick up the right points against the right teams, it's going to be a battle down there. I think there might be all the 6 or 7 teams.
So based on that, and this is a question for all of you guys, who do you, at the moment, can you see get relegated?
Sheffield United. Hey, we're swapping Luton, we take it back. Sheffield United. It's going to you lot now until you lot win. Then we can go back to someone else.
That spoon.
Yeah, and maybe even like Bournemouth are moving mad as well. So Sheffield United, Bournemouth, and
I'm going to throw it out there. I'm actually going to throw this out there.
No, you're not going to say the C word.
This might surprise some people.
I think I know what you're going to say, bro.
I think if these men don't back up their ideas, they will get dragged into it. Brentford.
I agree.
I think if they don't back up their ideas and fix up, look sharp.
Well, today I saw promise, even though they didn't break down 10 men for 25 minutes. But when that win comes, I think it will. When that win comes again, I think.
If they lose Tony in January.
Nah, without Tony, bro.
Without Tony, they'll have an extra 70 million.
When we went to Everton and thing. They wasn't the Everton. They weren't the Brentford I saw last season, bro.
Yeah, but they played much better today. And let's get on to that game. So Brentford played Nottingham Forest today. 1-1. Brentford took the leads. Forest went down to 10 men.
Yeah.
And then within seconds, Brentford got a headed goal in. Forest equalised within 7 minutes. 1-1. And there was a couple of VAR contentious decisions that came up when we was driving down there. A handball in the box, and also a challenge on Wissa.
Okay.
So Brentford definitely played a lot better today, and they should have got a few more goals. But did you see any of the challenges or the VAR?
I see the game, but you see what we've got to stop doing on this platform. Yeah, we've got to stop saying they played good, but they didn't get the 3 points. I don't care who plays. I don't care if you play sick.
Last week you were the one that said Brentford played good, and I was like.
But I'll explain. I'll elaborate. Yeah, they did play. They played good. They played good.
They played good last week.
Hold on.
They played good last week.
Can I talk? What I'm saying is they played good. They could have played better. They lost the game, so that's all that matters. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. So what I'm saying is, you're saying they played good this week. No problem. They played good, but they didn't win. So
They didn't lose either.
Yeah, no, cool. But it's irrelevant because.
So only a win's relevant?
No. Well, yeah. If you
the aim is to win, but not only.
The aim is to win. Yeah, but what I'm saying is, they haven't won consistently for a couple of weeks now. So when is the win coming? That's my point in the whole thing. I'm not dissing Brentford because I think they are a good team. Like I said in the Everton game, I just think right now if they don't pull out what they're going through and get a result, then they could be in trouble, like what you were saying.
And I think it more stems from the fact that they haven't pushed on. They come into the Premier League and they solidified their position in the league, and I think that they missed the opportunity to say, you know what, let's get a couple of signings to try and push for Europe. Yeah. And if you don't do that, if you stand still, other teams will go past you. And I mean, a couple of seasons ago, you might not have said that Villa would finish ahead of Brentford, but right now they're way ahead of Brentford.
Do you think if I tell them they can have me for free, They'll give me a deal.
Who? Villa.
This ain't
To clean their boots, yeah.
This ain't sounding still.
So there were two more games. West Ham v Sheffield United. West Ham, you know me every week. West Ham boys. I'm gonna give a shout out to JB.
Yeah.
Hey, scored again.
Bowen.
Hey, scored again.
Bowen.
Scored again. 2-0. Sheffield United, as we just said, we think they're going down.
Yeah.
How high do we think West Ham are going to reach this season?
I wouldn't get carried away. They've looked good, but I think they will finish top half of the table.
Yeah, I'm not expecting them to finish. Let me rephrase that. Do you think they can get silverware this season, West Ham?
I don't think so.
Nah, I can't see that.
I'm sure they'll be targeting the Europa League. They'll definitely be targeting that.
They can go and get some cutlery in the shop.
You're saying that they didn't win something last year or get to the semi-final the year before.
Yeah, but that ain't happening all the time. I think they're doing good. I like Kudos. Big up Kudos, man. He's come and he's been effective straight away getting goals. So I think that Bowen scores, but I don't think they had enough goal scorers around Bowen and Antonio. But now they got Kudos. He seems to be added to that.
The defence is
Bang goals
sturdy.
though?
Yeah, the defence is sturdy. The goalkeeper's strong.
He's creative,
Bro.
as well, Paqueta, man.
Okay,
They're going to win a cup. They're going for another cup final. They
It's
are.
a big statement still.
that is a big statement, and
I'm going. Yeah, go on.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say because being an East London boy, West Ham are
Local.
Yeah, local, and historically Arsenal and West Ham.
I've got to say though, any of you out there, if you drive around East London, the amount of flags you see, West Ham flags you see hanging out of the windows,
real hammers.
like
Yeah,
they're proper
Yeah, irons, yeah.
supporters. It's mad.
Proper, they're diehards.
They're diehards. It's like there's no other team in East London. But yeah, so I reckon they're gonna have a good season.
Yeah.
And I think it might be if they can solidify like top half of the table and then push on again next season because they've recouped a lot of money.
Yeah.
So they can still improve their squads and go forward. Like the signing of Kudos has been brilliant.
Yeah.
Are they a better team? How are they coping without Rice? Did you think they'll be a decline, or have they done?
I thought they would have
before?
declined, but they've spent really, really well.
Yeah.
Kudos.
Is it Alvarez? That's
Alvarez.
I mean, so
They replaced him, I
Yeah.
think. And they got two players of good levels
Yeah.
to replace the one
It's like
player.
there's more option now, isn't it? They don't look that old.
They can rotate a bit more.
rotate, yeah.
You know what's funny? If they had the option to take Rice now with what they've got, I think they'll probably say like, no, we're good.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
because they've got three for the price of one.
Yeah.
Ultimately,
Good business,
so it's good business on their behalf. And you're saying about them finishing top half of the table. I think that is probably their objective. If they'll take that. Stay in the top half and get to quarters or semi-final of a cup. That is a successful season for West Ham. For example. Whereas obviously, the Arsenal, Cities, and whoever else, they want silverware. Obviously,
Of course,
the objective
yeah.
changes.
So that takes us to our final game from the weekend, and that was Newcastle v Burnley. Now, Newcastle doing their thing, 2-0. It was 2-0, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Almiron and who's got the
Isak,
second goal?
penalty.
Isak.
Another clean sheet from Newcastle.
Isak's
But,
banging
the past few weeks, Newcastle played AC, Man City, Burnley, and this week they're playing PSG. They're playing champions.
Yeah.
But they're getting results.
And that's what I'm
Yeah,
getting
yeah,
at. And they're not
results,
conceding goals either.
Yeah.
Like, they're
Big up
moving.
Newcastle.
Yeah, big up Newcastle, man. Clean sheets. Trippier at the back. What's your thoughts on Trippier or
Player of the season so far for me.
yeah, we're going to talk about team of the season in a minute, but yeah, so Trippier, Isak, Almiron, the goalkeeper, what's his name, Nick Pope.
Pope.
That's a shot for goalkeeper, like pushing Pickford, because Pickford's team are not winning, as you said, Dan.
Yeah.
He's not in the winning team, but he's still England number one.
Yeah.
So Pope and Ramsdale's not even Arsenal number one, so Pope must get a look in sooner
Well,
or
England,
later.
I think Ramsdale's better than.
Yeah, I hear you, but if
And
Pope
that's
keeps-
not just me being biased. I honestly do think
But if Pope keeps racking up them clean sheets,
then
you know what I mean?
contender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Pickford, he's got to come out of the England squad anyway.
think it's
Not
time,
England squad, but you can't be number one, bro. If there's teams like you said, Ramsdale, Pope, these guys are progressing with at club level with their teams in front of your club team. So
Even
why are you
still,
number one?
Still
Like,
looking good, man.
who?
Is it still?
He let in six. He let in six yesterday.
Nah, but he's been all right.
Well, he wasn't saving
Aside
nothing yesterday. You know.
aside from yesterday, like, let's call that a blip. But
And
aside
also
from,
with still, he plays every other game. So De Zerbi already said
Yeah.
50-50.
Yeah.
Like Arteta's not said 50-50 for the Arsenal goalkeepers.
Yeah.
De Zerbi said in pre-season 50-50. Hence why the media ain't jumping on him saying, "Oh, what are you doing?" Because he told everyone from early. But let's talk about the other team, Burnley. What do we think is going on with Burnley and Vincent Kompany? Is it a steadying the ship? Is it a patience thing? Or is it time for the sack? I'm not calling for the sack. 3 questions.
can I just answer that real quick?
Real quick.
I feel like, you know, like when you run your bath and you got to test the water before you jump in. I feel like they just jumped right in.
You know what?
And now they
That's
get
a
hurt.
good analogy. It sounds mad, but I get what you're saying. Because I was watching their program, you know, where, you know,
Oh, yeah, they got that program, yeah.
you know, and you can see the passion and stuff, but it's a different ball game, you know.
different.
It's the different ball game, and I don't think any of them were prepared. Even Vincent Kompany, you know, being, you know, Man City captain for how, you know, many years.
He done exactly what Poch done, yeah, but just with no names. He bought a bag of man, but we don't know one of them that he bought.
There's
With
no more.
with Poch, he done exactly the same for Chelsea. He bought man that we've heard
Budget
about
is
before.
different, fam. The
No,
budget is different.
I respect that. Respectfully, I understand that. And big up Burnley anyway, because they have got one player, that left winger, Colosho or something like that. I watched him play, he's quite decent, so it doesn't matter about names, but I'm just saying, my point in saying that is that these teams need gelling. When we was talking about Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, it takes time to gel. When you're buying 20 man, bruv, you're buying a new squad.
Yeah.
So that might take Burnley 15 games to get their rhythm, but by that time it could be too late.
It's too late,
And
right?
that's another reason why I just randomly shouted Luton, because I feel like Luton didn't make so many acquisitions.
Exactly.
And they got a bit more
So
of a
they-
steady ship.
they
just
know
need
each other.
They just need to get to grips with the speed
That's
of the
it,
Premier League,
that's
with
it.
the fitness. And what I think is really hard for these teams is the fact that this season the Prem's going to 110 minutes. And there's only certain elite Premier League teams that can last that long. And that's why well done to Tottenham, because their first 11, they're trained for 100 minutes, as we said the other day.
Yeah.
Hence why they won yesterday. Hence why they got that result against Arsenal. Because after 75 minutes, 80 minutes, Tottenham were like, all right, now we can shift into gear 5.
Yeah.
And Tottenham were well prepared for that. And maybe these teams that have come up,
I'm not
the
saying
legs, it's
yeah.
always been like that. Even when the games were 90 minutes long, the teams that come up didn't have the fitness. So imagine now 100 minutes, 105 minutes.
Yeah.
That's standard
It's
as
hard,
well.
Standard.
Yeah.
Today's game went extra 13 minutes in the
Yeah,
Forest
yeah.
Brentford game today.
Yeah.
This is becoming a
I'm not sure
standard.
where that came from. I was looking about 7 or 8, but
Yeah.
13, and then they added an extra 2 more.
It's horrible.
Yeah, so it was a long game.
The likes of, well, those that are in the competition, Europe or whatever else, it's going to take its toll on those
As the
kind of
managers
teams,
has been saying.
Because like we say, Tottenham, you know, and they are playing well. It hurts me to say that, but at the moment, you know, their managers got them playing, but
They ain't got
they
Europe.
ain't got Europe. So
Neither
on
Chelsea,
one game a
just
week,
put it out
neither
there.
is Chelsea. Yeah.
Speaking of Chelsea, like obviously their game kicks off tomorrow. So
Yeah.
after we've done this podcast,
Yeah.
I think we should just do a quick preview of that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Like a little prediction thing. 1-1. Fulham versus Chelsea. Fulham at home. You think 1-1?
Well, Chelsea scoring, yeah? Jackson.
Jackson, Mudryk.
Get off to this month in a flyer. Get a goal. So 1-1. What do you reckon, Slammer?
I'll be honest with you. I fancy Fulham. I think 2-0 Fulham.
Maestro.
You know I like goals, but Chelsea have not been scoring goals, so I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham.
I'm gonna go 3-0 Fulham. I just feel like Chelsea are hitting some serious relegation form. I heard a stat about the amount of points that they've got from the beginning of the year until now, and they would actually be in the relegation zone.
Yeah.
But tell me the teams Chelsea have beat this year.
Luton.
Wimbledon.
Yeah.
And one more, and someone else, but They've won 3 games this
games
season.
this season.
Quickly to wrap this up though, if Chelsea lose tomorrow, does Poch get the sack?
No.
No,
Not yet.
Still?
Yeah.